Voting had been on the 26th of March. Right-wing journalist Ducas commented, "The absurd elections, resulting in a government which the island of Barratria might envy, took place. The scum of every profession came to power. I look for generals and admirals and don't find them." Well, let's see what he did find. An extract from the records, some results from the 3rd arrondissement. Elected: Demey, worker, aged 50. Arnaud, worker, aged 28. Pandy, carpenter, 31. Murat, mechanic, 38. And so on, similarly in all but the upper class and upper middle class arrondissements. The Central Committee of the Guard issued one last proclamation. "Our mission is accomplished. We are going to give up our space at your Hôtel de Ville." Note, your Hôtel de Ville. "Give up our space to those you have elected, your regular delegates." There's a new word in European democracy. Not your representatives, but delegates, liable to recall, as the committee itself had been delegated by the National Guard. Members of the Communal Council, or Commune, came out on the balcony of the Hôtel de Ville. To the crowd, they were our government. The 60 or so men started the new era with agreement on 3 important and until now unheard of principles. First, they would be paid no more than a skilled workman's average wage. Second, they would be subject to immediate recall by their voters. And third, they would all be working delegates with administrative duties. The Commune was not to be a talking shop. Well, some historians are amazed at what they regard as naivety. Others welcome the commitment to participatory democracy. This welcome was not shared by whoever put together an incredibly skillful faked picture of the Commune in session. Every single person can be named, apart from the prostitutes in the foreground. We'll come back to this image and its implications, because I think they go to the root of the hatred and fear which the Commune would inspire in some. Away from Ducas's rhetoric, the real Commune at work was sketched by a magazine artist. The verbatim reports which were made reveal heated debates and some personal animosities, which were less dangerous, perhaps, than the false sense that time was on the Commune's side. Paris would never be attacked by Frenchmen, they thought. The very first law was on rents. During the siege, they'd been sharply increased. All increases were now annulled. The money paid to be set against future rent. A cartoon shows by the length of their noses exactly how much this pleased the landlords. Another early decree was to stop the sale of all workmen's tools pawned during the siege. Later these were returned gratis by the national pawn shops. There were long queues. See, one man bears away on his shoulders I think a treadle sewing machine, his wife's maybe, and another recovers his planes. Craftsmen would be able to work again. From simple reforms like this, the Commune hoped to move towards a more radical modification of the social order. The newspapers and flyers that were suddenly appearing everywhere were all proclaiming a festival of revolution. Though not everyone, as the cartoon again shows, was happy about the flood of print. Nor, by the way, was our diarist, the Reverend Gibson, happy with the decree on pensions for wives or partners of guards killed in battle. Fixing on that phrase, he wrote, "The words married or not are worthy of note, as showing the ideas of communists of the sanctity of marriage." And he complains, A general divorce is pronounced under this dreadful rule of the Commune. But he liked the clean streets. While the Commune was passing its first laws, Thiers' army was now being reinforced with help from the Prussians, who were releasing prisoners of war. Thiers wanted men from country districts, like these, from conservative Brittany, who were led into battle by their priests. We can just make out "Vive les Bretons" on the wall, which is ironic, since most of them couldn't speak French, and they just wanted to get home to the farm. Courbevoie, west of Paris, was the place where the new troops were tested, and the Commune was taken by surprise. Women were first out, and then alongside their men were active defenders. See? But the Versaillese captured a few strategic points, and then in an orderly way left them again, which was ominous. Soon after, too late, Commune troops were sent to Versailles to settle matters with the former government. Without centralized leadership, the Guards were fought to a standstill. But the episode was brushed away as a minor setback, because Frenchmen would never attack Paris, though others came to see it as a critique of instant anarchism. Wrangling over reforms continued unabated. Everything was discussed at length and voted on. Again, from the verbatim reports, we can see how members shared a belief that society can be run by ordinary people in a more rational and humane way once capitalism has been rejected. The K word. Enemies decided that Karl was behind everything. The only two Marxists amongst all the other socialist tendencies in the Commune may well have thought, if only. In fact, the pressure was coming from the common people, from the committees set up to campaign for comprehensive secular education at all levels, for all. A comprehensive health service, pensions for all. It sounds almost like post-World War II England under Attlee. Small measures were being taken every day. For example, one of the biggest industries in Paris was baking. Way back from or down below the superb window displays, night work and the heat combined to kill. No, the Commune didn't nationalize the bakeries, but it did ban all night work. Look, on a wall, 2 posters. Below, from the town hall of the first arrondissement, the decree is explained. Above, from the Bakers' Trade Union, a thank you and a pledge of loyalty to the Commune. And then after that came a reform with socially profound implications. A law that any workshops abandoned by the owners could be taken over and run by the employees. Owners had indeed been flying the city in flocks, crying, "This is madness. Paris can never be run by the common people." But it was being run by them. It's true that at least one member of the Commune, the one responsible for a telegraph service which no longer existed, dressed up in a silly uniform. But hardly any sillier, after all, than that of General Gallifet, whom we'll meet again. And childish vanities apart, all was kept going. A postal service within Paris, public transport, food markets, sewage, hospitals, thanks to their compassionate or sympathetic medical staff, all kept running by their rank-and-file employees, without highly paid bureaucrats above them. And the outbreak of the printed word. Newspapers, pamphlets, handbills, cartoons. Still in its earliest stages, this was going to be a festival of revolution. with decrees being preceded or overtaken by spontaneous action. But Paris was still cut off, by Prussians and French, from the rest of France and the world. Oh, why Floreal? One of the charming, but rather pointless, changes made by the Commune was to the calendar. They decided to revert to the revolutionary calendar, which was first established for a time after the 1789 revolution. Floreal was the name given to a new month, the time of year when vegetation begins to burgeon.